Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today to the Meet the Vista management team. I have the management team gathered here this afternoon to tell them a little bit about themselves and who they are, as well as to tell you what their role is at the Vista, and also to give you an idea of what to expect when you move in and you come that first day and you walk through our doors, and the customer service you're going to receive, and the way you'll be treated when you're living at the Vista. If you haven't had the opportunity to meet myself, I'm Patrick Duffy. I'm the executive director. I've been with Christian Health now approximately 7 months. It's been a real whirlwind of a 7-month period for myself. Personally, I'm married, been married for 33 years. I have 3 grown children that luckily for my wife and I are all out of the house and on their own. So we're happy about that. We just relocated up to this area from Monmouth County in January. I was doing the drive up from Monmouth County for 3 months, and it just got to be too much. So too much for myself. So we are currently renting a home in the Hawthorne area. So my commute went from 80 miles to about half a minute to get to work. So that was a really great thing for myself. I'm happy to be here with the Vista. We're actually very, very close to opening. We'll be opening and accepting our first resident on June 7th. And we hope to have at the end of June, approximately 23 to 25 residents living in the Vista, and eventually having over 100. And by the I would say the end of the summer going into the fall. So it's an exciting time for all of us. We had a really lovely event last night, our first event ever at the Vista. We were able to hold an event that was with our CEO, Doug Strike, where he was able, excuse me for the cell phone, where he was able to thank all of our construction crew, our developers, our designers, all the people that made this beautiful community happen. And everything was just just a great event. It was our first one that we did as a team, and I couldn't be prouder of the team and the way they performed last night. So with that, let's start meeting the team. This great management team that I've been able to put together with and blessed to have at the Vista. And everyone's favorite topic and what we're all looking forward to when the Vista open is our food program. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to our dining director, Anne-Marie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anne-Marie, and I will be the dining director here at the Vista. And I'm excited to get to know everybody and just know everything about you and see you every day morning coming down for your cup of coffee.
So Anne-Marie, tell us a little bit about your work history, where your last job or where you just were, where you came from before taking the position at the Vista.
Well, I was born and raised in Bergen County. I currently live in Hackensack. I went to Johnson & Wales. I have an associate's degree in culinary arts, as well as a bachelor's degree in food service management. And I worked for Marriott for over 23 years. I worked in the back of the house. I was a line cook. I was a sous chef. And then I moved to the front of the house, and my last position was a restaurant manager at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square.
So working at the Marriott at the Times Square, tell us a little bit about what it was like on New Year's Eve when you had the parties there.
Oh, New Year's Eve was really a great time. It was very, very hectic. But that week between Christmas and New Year's Eve, it was the busiest week. We do most of our sales that week, covers of over 500 in the restaurant, over 1,000 in the lounge. Whereas then when we got to New Year's Eve, it was all based on reservations. So a little bit more organized, but it was still very, very hectic. And it was a great place to be, obviously, for New Year's Eve. Lots of nights I would be out there, watching the ball drop and seeing the confetti. And I remember one year I was just like, I've only been out here for 15 minutes. Like, how do people do this for 12 hours? Like, I was just ready to get the ball dropped and done and go back to work. But it was really, it was a great experience, and I'm glad I was able to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure, Emery, that you'd like to talk to everyone today and speak about the great food we're going to have, but I'll leave that for Mark, the executive chef. But one question before we move on to Mark, Emery, working at the Marriott Marquis, did you have the opportunity to meet anyone famous that maybe everyone on the call here would know?
Oh, wow. Yes, we met. Many people came into the restaurant or to the hotel. We had Mayor Bloomberg, I met, Gloria Stefan, um, great Yankee closer, Mariana Rivera, Mr. T, the Prime Minister. I think this is a funny story. The Prime Minister of Iceland, he came in once and I greeted him and everything. And I said, "Oh, I really would love to go to your country." And he just gives me his business card and he goes, "Okay." And I was like, "Am I supposed to call you when I go to Iceland? Like, is it just knock on your door? Is that what happens?" So yeah, it was like a lot of great people that we met, and it was a great opportunity and
Good.
good pictures too.
Well, thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks for sharing that with everyone today. And I know you did want to speak a lot about the food and what the residents can anticipate when they are living at the Vista. But why don't we let our executive chef Mark speak about that? Mark, this is Mark. He's our executive chef. And Mark put on a really wonderful meal last night and performance for our party that we had. It was really a nice spread, a really nice presentation, and everyone in attendance really enjoyed it. So Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are and the food and what the residents can anticipate when they move into the Vista.
Well, I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York. Um, Moved down here about when I was about 25. Went to Culinary Institute of America. Finished there and immediately moved down to New Jersey. Never thought I'd move down here, but that's where I ended up. Much like Ann, I started at the bottom. My first job was washing dishes in a pancake house, working midnights, and started there and worked my way up and came all the way down here, started working in restaurants. And after starting a family, meeting my wife, decided that the country club way to go was the way to, because of all the benefits that you get with with country clubs. It worked out really well because we started a family, and it really helps with all that. So country clubs has been a big part of my life. I've been doing that for the last 25 years. I look forward to making it happen with the residents here.
Good, thanks, Mark. And I understand that as a chef, you're a little unique because you also like to bake. Any of your specialties you could speak about that the residents can anticipate?
Well, they can anticipate a lot of things, but there's a couple of things we're going to do. We got a amazing cheesecake that I'm very proud of. I'm lucky enough to have had a experience where I worked at a restaurant where I was taught by a professional pastry chef. So I had a lot of, and I got to keep all the recipes. So I have a big book of recipes that I can share with everybody, and chocolate lava cake and a lot of other things that I'll be putting on the menu here.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Mark. We all look forward to tasting your food and have an opportunity to see the program that you're going to put out at the Vista. And thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. So as Mark's going to make a mess in the kitchen and in the dining room, we're going to need someone to clean this up. So let me introduce our housekeeping supervisor who just recently joined us, Jamar. Jamar Wilson is our housekeeping supervisor. Are you with us, Jamar? Welcome, and thanks for joining us this afternoon. So Jamar, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you grew up.
My name is Jamar Wilson. I'm 21 years old, pretty young. I was born in Patterson, moved from Patterson to Prospect Park. Now I live in Hawthorne. I'm just a working man. I started, my first job ever was a catering job in Total called the Bethwood. I worked there for about 2 years. It's pretty tough, but honestly, I can say that this has been my favorite and best job I ever had. And because of my experience and how I do my work environment, I got the opportunity to become a supervisor. Thanks to everyone around me, including Gabe, Andrea, Matthew, just everyone who taught me how to be better at my job.
Good, good. And you should be proud of yourself at 21, being a supervisor. It's a great opportunity. And I know you're going to do a great job, because when I think of 21, I think I have ties that are older than you. So it's nice to have a young person on board, and we look forward to working with you. Jameer, I understand you have a young son. You want to speak a little bit about your son?
Yeah, my son, he's 9 months old. His name's Xavion. He was born August 16th of the last year, 2020. So yeah, it's just whenever I'm not at work, I'm with them. It's the cutest baby ever too.
Very good, Jameer. Well, thanks for joining us today. That was nice. And sorry about muting myself when we started. Good to have you on the team. Look forward to working with you. Next, I'd like to introduce our resident services coordinator. That's Tila. Tila will be in charge of all of the activities and programming and everything that's going to go on in the Vista to keep our residents engaged and make sure that everyone is staying busy in the Vista. So Tila, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. So my name is Tila. I'm the resident services coordinator, and I'm no stranger to Christian Health. I've worked here for 17 years, and I started as an activity assistant in Heritage Manor, which is our skilled nursing care. Then I helped start up our short-term rehab, our Bulger rehab unit, as the activity coordinator. Then I became the assistant activity director for Heritage Manor and Southgate. That's our behavioral management unit. And then for the past 8 years, I've served as the activity director and assistant administrator at our adult day services in Wayne.
Nice. And Tila, I understand you're married and have 3 children. Can you speak a little bit about that for the group today?
I do. So, well, like I said, I've been here for 17 years, so I've really quite spent half my life here, and Christian Health has become a part of my life, and I've really incorporated my life here. So my husband actually proposed to me at Christian Health in front of my residents during an activity program. I had 6 of my short-term rehab patients join me at our wedding ceremony. I have 2 dogs that ever since they were puppies, I've had them trained as therapeutic pet visitors. So they visited all the units I've worked on. And once I had children, I incorporated them into our intergenerational programs. So I am married. My husband's name is Ricky. He is a United States Marine Corps veteran. And we have 3 children, Bryce, who's 6, Ariella is 2, and Kiara is 1. So I really feel deep rooted within Christian healthcare, again, in my life and bringing my life to the center.
Yeah, thanks, Tila. Thanks for sharing. And if you would, I understand that you are the most adventurous of all the managers here at the Vista. So if you want to speak a little bit about some of your adventures and that you've taken part of in the last few years.
Sure. I really enjoy, planning trips, researching trips and adventures, things to do. So some of my big adventures have been skydiving. I've been hot air ballooning, zip lining. I really love to travel, so I like to do excursions based on my locations that I travel to. So I've been dog sledding in Alaska. I have hiked a volcanic crater in Hawaii, snorkeling in Bermuda. And then I also like to do cultural and, visit historic landmarks. So I've been to the Louvre in Paris, and I climbed the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. So I love doing it all. So whatever our residents want to do won't surprise me. I will love doing the researching and the planning and making whatever their wishes come true.
Great. Thanks, Tila. And what we'll do is, I think maybe the first adventure that we'll have is all of our residents will go skydiving.
I'm ready.
So we'll make that happen. Thanks, Tila. Thanks for joining. So the next manager I'd like to introduce is our plant operations manager, Mahai. And Mahai has a very interesting title. Not only is he the plant operations, but he's also a certified pool operator. So Mahai, why don't you speak a little bit about that this morning to our residents and the group that has joined us today.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, actually. This amazing place has a pool, like you said, and a spa, and the pool, we're trying to bring the pool, and we're in process of bringing it to the standards and make sure that we are complying with all the CDC requirements regarding the COVID-19 public health measures and safety rules. We checking the water every 2 hours in order to make sure the water is balanced chemically, and everything is up and running. The filters, the air conditioning in that space, and all the systems are running perfectly.
Yeah, thanks, Mahai. Thanks for sharing that. I know that without Mahai, we wouldn't be able to operate our pool. So it's good to have Mahai as our certified pool operator. Mahai, would you like to tell the group anything about you personally, where you were born, children?
Yeah, I came from Romania. Was raised and born in Romania in 2006. I have a child that just become a doctor, just finished the medical school, and I used to work in the hospitality industry since I came here, since 2006, between Sheraton Hotel, Marriott hotels, and all this time I just did the maintenance, took care of the buildings, took care of the residents and guests.
Good. Thanks, Mahai, and have an opportunity to meet your team. Mahai's really gathered a great group of guys here for the maintenance program here at the Vista. So anytime you have an issue, feel free to reach out to Mahai and his team. We'll be happy to assist you in all your maintenance needs when you move into the Vista. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Mahai. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce our wellness coordinator. She's the newest member of our team, just joined us a few weeks ago. So it's my pleasure to introduce Ellen, our wellness coordinator.
Hi, everyone. I am Ellen Bell. I am the new wellness coordinator. I've been with the Christian Healthcare Center. Well, I wish I could say like Tilo is half my life, but it's closing in on 40 years. So it's a whole lot more than half of my life. I started as a nursing assistant before there even were certified nursing assistants, working my way through nursing school. And I decided to stay in geriatric nursing upon graduation. So I've been with the Christian Healthcare Center for my entire career. But on the side, I did do some other things. I also worked for a pediatrician for 25 years on my day off during that time. I like to say that I found a place in nursing where I've been able to meet my life needs and develop skills that helped me along the way. So I have 6 children, and working for a pediatrician was really a very good option at that time. And now, as I'm heading into my own retirement years, I'm looking forward to finding out how I can lead the most fulfilled life by guiding you all through the same.
Thanks, Ellen. Thanks. What kind of programming can the residents expect from the wellness program? What kind of like the gym, what amenities can they expect when they move in?
So the gym is beautifully set up with every piece of exercise equipment that you can imagine. We'll make sure that the residents are trained in using the equipment safely. They'll be working with a physical therapist to learn how to use that equipment safely. There's also a studio in which we can incorporate any kind of different classes that are brought to our attention as being of interest by our residents, so that maybe we'll have yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, whatever really seems to interest them. So some things we can do as groups, and some things will be independently done at the residents' leisure.
And some of those programs, Ellen, they'll be led by live individuals, and some will be done remotely.
So as an example, there are 3 bicycles in the studio right now, which are called Echelon bicycles, which is like oh, and I've forgotten now what the correct name is. It
Peloton.
Yeah, like a Peloton. That's correct. So that's an independently led activity, but it's in a group setting via a live stream. So it's a little bit of a mix of each, but we can have instructors doing different classes. And of course, the gym is accessible 24/7. So independent physical fitness activities can happen at any time.
Good. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks for sharing that.
My pleasure.
Everyone this afternoon. And so as you can see, as a team, we're ready. We're ready for residents to move in. That's all we need now are the residents. We're looking forward to that. On June 7th, we do have 3 move-ins anticipated. And then every day after that, 1 or 2 residents will be moving in. And I can tell you that we're very excited. We're looking forward to that. There's been a lot of hard work that's gone in, not only just constructing the community, but also getting the team assembled, getting people ready. And I just feel as if we have a really great team here that are just going to do everything in their power to make the living experience at the Vista, second to none. So at this time, if there's any questions or.
We do have some questions, Patrick, and I'll read them off to you so either you or the team can answer them. I think the first one will be directed towards Tila, because it's a really great question. What are some of the trips and entertainment activities that we might be experiencing at the Vista?
Okay, that is a great question. Well, I'm waiting for our residents to kind of guide me and let me know what their interests are. And from there, I could definitely book those trips and things, events that you want to happen. But I do have a whole bunch of my thoughts, my ideas where we could go. Certainly Broadway is opening up this September. I would love for us to take some Broadway trips, do some holiday events, as the holiday season approaches us. But we'll be doing a lot of socials, probably meet and greets as the residents join us, so we could all get to know each other. And then we have our very own Performing Arts Center. So we will have a lot of events in there, from guest speakers to musical entertainment and, a variety of different types of acts, again, based on what our residents would enjoy seeing it in our new community.
Great question. Another question, another good question as well. The dining program, how many restaurants, and are others more casual and more formal?
Anne-Marie, would you like to answer that?
Yes, I will. Yes, we will have 3 areas. One will be called a gallery, which will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It will be a little bit more casual. Sandwiches, soups, salads, things like that. And then we'll have the Waterstone, which will be available for only dinner, as well as Sunday brunch. And that would be a little bit more fine dining, maybe steaks, seafood, more exciting things like that. Great appetizers and everything. I know Mark is working on the menu, and it's a lot of great things on there. There will also be the Windmill, which would be the serve yourself for pub area. And I think that would be a great opportunity where we can have championship sporting events that we can show on TV, and have great specials for food and everything to celebrate any type of sporting or any type of holiday. I mean, we'll be celebrating the whole time while we're here, so it's going to be a great time.
Great. And Patrick, back to you. In terms of COVID safety, can you explain kind of the filtration system, ventilation, everything like that to keep your building super safe in our new environment?
Sure, Mike. So as far as COVID safety, as you notice, the state and most of the country is starting to let up with some of the COVID restrictions. I believe in the state of New Jersey now, we're moving away from masks in public areas as of this Friday, actually tomorrow. So we will adhere to any of the guidelines that the CDC have in place, as well as the governor of New Jersey, and what they're mandating for us. Because what they mandate in a restaurant, in any restaurant, will be the same rules and regulations that we will need to follow. As far as the filtration system, we do have a top of the line filtration system in the Vista. It's actually every single resident's room is separate from their neighbors. So the air that gets filtered throughout your apartment is from the outside and is never air from inside the community or from your neighbors. And that's something that was actually designed and put in before COVID. So the designer, the architect who put that in place was thinking ahead and put this, this system in place. So we'll be ready. Anything that the governor calls for or CDC guidelines we'll have in place.
I know you're very proud of this as well. Can you speak to the vaccination safety you've had as well? You've had a great turnout with residents as well as team members.
Sure. From a vaccination perspective, every single employee that works at the Vista has been vaccinated. We all received the 2-step Pfizer vaccination. So, we're happy about that. We're proud of that as well. Most of our residents moving in were either vaccinated or had COVID. So we ran a vaccine program back in January, February of this year. And the residents received the Pfizer vaccination as well. So we will have that available. If a new resident's moving in has not been vaccinated, we will assist you in that process. But from what I've seen on TV and read, that the vaccine is pretty readily available now. So anyone who's interested in getting the vaccine is able to make an appointment and receive that vaccine.
And a couple more quick questions. We'll wrap it up. Do we have pool hours yet? Opening and closing of the pool hours?
Yes, we do. We have pool hours right now. The pool hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We do close for an hour. We close from 12 to 1 to do our cleaning of the pool, and then we reopen from 1 to 4.
Right.
Sunday, the hours are from 8 a.m. till noontime. And that'll be for aquatics, which Tila will work with, as well as Ellen, to set up an aquatics program. And as the COVID restrictions are lifted, then we'll start opening up more hours for the pool.
Great. And this one goes back to dining. Gluten-free, dairy-free options. Will there be them?
Mark, that's a good question for you. If you unmute yourself, we can hear about the gluten-free and what you're going to have for our residents.
Good. There you go. I figured out how to do it. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Will there be gluten-free and dairy-free options in the dining areas?
There will be gluten-free options, a lot of gluten-free options. I am well versed in all the gluten-free and nut-free and dairy-free, and having to deal with it at the country club. Been doing it for over 10 years. I'm also very familiar with vegetarian and vegan. My sous chef was completely vegan, so I learned a lot from her. Because there's, not being vegan, there's a lot of things out there that people don't realize are available to make the food delicious. And people think that, vegan food is celery and carrots. And it's not. There's really a lot of delicious choices out there that you can have. And certainly I'm going to have a lot of options out there for people that, are gluten and dairy intolerant.
Great. And we have a couple more questions that are kind of more pertinent to the move-in process and selection. So the only thing I'll say for those people that are looking for questions on internet and internet providers, please go through Heather at the sales center as she works through the move-in process. And maybe Patrick, you can touch on that. But anything that relies on your move-in, please make sure you go through Heather at the office. She's the one that's really trained and specializing in making sure you all have a painless and accommodating move-in. And I don't know if there's any more questions. I'll check through the loop here. There's questions on meal planning. How many meals per resident per month? Is that Patrick, you want to talk about that?
Sure. We don't have a how many meals per month for the resident. We didn't want to box anyone into the meals that they could have. We have it on a point system. So each resident will receive 500 points per month for their meals. And then you get to use them as you deem fit. If you want to have breakfast every morning, or if you want to have lunch every afternoon, or you want to do dinner every night, you would base that on your points. The points would roll over to the following month. So if you did not use them all, they'd roll to the next month. And they would, if you didn't use them all at the end of the second month, they would roll into the third month. At the end of the quarter, they do go away and we start fresh at that point. So the key to this is, use your points. They're there for you. You don't have to use them all. We don't expect people just to come down for meals. They're not going to eat just to use their points. That's not the purpose of it. But it gives you a lot more options than as we just said. Everyone gets breakfast and dinner, and we just didn't feel that was the way to do this. We thought that would be better for the residents, more options, more choices by going on a point system. And as you move into the community, and you come for your signing and as well as your walkthrough of your apartment, and on your move-in day, this will all be explained to you. It's in the handbook, the resident handbook that you'll receive when you move in, as well as a resident orientation. Every resident when they move in will receive an orientation from someone on the panel here. As we get to capacity and we have more residents moving in, that would fall onto Heather as the move-in coordinator. But due to the fact that we're moving so many people in a short time, there'll be a lot of different people that will be available to explain processes to you. And then we'll be there, for any questions that happen to come up, if there's any concerns or anything that you need assistance with, because this will be new for all of us. Every single team member that's here on this call and team members that are not on this call, it's the first time we're opening the Vista. So it's going to be a new experience for us. And of course, it's going to be a new experience for everyone there. But any questions, we're there to assist. We hope we have covered everything in the handbook, and we hope to cover everything in the orientation. But anything that's on your mind, by all means, we're there to assist and to help.
A couple quick questions came in during Patrick and the time that I can probably just, again, kind of quickly answer, and then we can close this up. How many units are booked? We are closing on 80% occupancy prior to opening, which is absolutely amazing. So there are really few unit of floor plans available. So if you have a floor plan you're interested in, you definitely need to contact the sales center and talk to them so you can get your name on that list, because this building and community is filling up quickly. There's also a question about guided tours prior to opening. Please contact the sales center. They will have all the latest information on who and when they can get into the community. We want to make sure that we do that in a safe way as we get this building open, and we want to make sure we're following all the guidelines on that. So Patrick, if you'd like to close it off, we will stop the recording, make sure it gets sent out to everybody who did not get the chance to be on it today. Great participation. We actually hit over 100% on our RSVP. So some people even got in that didn't RSVP. So it's a great event today.
Good. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks for everyone for joining us today. I hope we answered some questions. I hope you learned a little bit more about the Vista than prior to the call, which you may or may not have known. Again, this is a great team that's here. It's a great, dedicated, caring team. They're there to help, and we're there to help and to assist. And we want to make your movement process go as seamless as possible. We want your first few days to go well, and then after that, as more residents move in, we'll get into a flow, and we'll get into a system that we just want you to enjoy living at the Vista, and we'll do everything that we can to make that happen.